I'm using the opinions of random internet strangers to plan my day at Universal today. Oh boy. Hello ManFam and welcome to Universal's Islands of Adventure. Today I will be using random reviews from travel websites to help me do the best and worst shows, best and worst rides, and best and worst eats in the park, according to strangers on the internet. These videos have turned out to be very fun in the other parks we've done them in. There's definitely some surprises along the way. I'm very excited to see what the internet has to say about islands, so let's get in there. Now you may be thinking to yourself, why would I use TripAdvisor and Yelp and other such websites to plan my day when it's literally my job to go to theme parks? And I don't want to sound arrogant, but I do feel a little bit like that clip of Parks and Recreation where Ron Swanson goes to a hardware store.
Hi there. Is there a project you're working on?
I know more than you.
All right.
But these videos, one, are very entertaining and a new way to showcase the theme parks, and two, it is interesting to see what guests that are maybe not so immersed in theme park culture, maybe don't have the nostalgia for the parks like so many of us do, what they vote on as the best and worst things in the park. So, I've had a good time in these other videos. I've definitely been surprised by some of the results, and I don't think Islands will be any different. Islands of Adventure is Universal Orlando's second gate. It's home to lands such as Marvel Superhero Island, Jurassic Park, Seuss Landing, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade, the original Wizarding World in a theme park. That's actually where we're headed first for our best and worst shows. There's not a ton of shows in this park, actually only 4, and they don't get a ton of reviews like some of the rides and things, but we're still including them. And as I head to Hogsmeade, any guesses as to which is which? Made into a very busy Hogsmeade. It is spring break right now, and you can tell. And I'm headed towards the stage near the castle. So on this little stage, they do 2 different performances. They do the Triwizard Spirit Rally, which is commemorating the 4th story, Goblet of Fire, with students from Beauxbaton and Durmstrang demonstrating their skills before the Triwizard Tournament. They also do the Frog Choir show here, where they've got Hogwarts students come out and use the frogs. Spoiler alert, we're seeing the first show, but are we seeing it for the best or the worst?
We have students from competing schools. Please greet the proud sons of the Durmstrang. Do whatever you normally do in photographs with the Wizard cameras, yeah?
Alright, but these students are going to exit right here. This time it's going to exit for me.
That is not what you do in all photographs. Are you kidding? All right. Beauxbaton Durmstrang, thank you very much, and thank you all so much for joining us.
Well, that was lovely, and my goodness, are those visiting wizards talented, particularly the Durmstrang gentlemen, doing all their flips and acrobatics in here, and what I can imagine is not a breathable fabric, and it is warm today in Hogsmeade. So I always enjoy these little shows. I love the Wizard World, and I think that this one, along with the Frog Choir and the ones over in Diagon Alley, really do bring an extra level of immersion into these already amazing lands. But was that the best or the worst rated show in the park? It was the best. In fact, it has a rating of 5 across the reviews we found, which I do want to caveat, there were not many. There's not a ton of reviews for any of the shows here in the park. The shows are kind of slim pickings in this park, especially compared to some of the Disney parks that we've done, or even compared to Universal Studios Florida. There's actually only 4 things that Universal counts as a show in this park, and that one came on top with a 5. So let's head over to Molly's Review Corner and see what the folks had to say. I should point out that Alan sends me the reviews. He finds what he thinks will be funny or enjoyable ones. So we're all gonna learn together about whatever this person had to say about the Triwizard Tournament. This is a really cool show. It really brings you into the 4th movie with a performance with the students of Durmstrang and Beauxbaton. They do a great job, and it's fun to watch the different styles from the different schools. I haven't gotten to see the entire thing yet, so that's one of my goals. I hope to see the entire performance one day. 5 stars. Wow, 5 stars? You didn't even see the whole thing? That says something. Now, it should be noted that the number 2 show as far as ratings go is the Raptor Encounter in Jurassic Park, which I would consider more to be a character experience or a meet and greet than a show, but that's how it's classified on Universal's website, so we're gonna take it. I do think that one is actually the #1 show in the park just because it's such a unique, it's such an amazing experience, but my guess is some of the reviews knocked it because it literally scares children. That said, both 3 and 4 are here in this land, so what do you think is the worst show according to the internet? We staying here for the Frog Choir, or are we headed to get a wand? If you guessed Frog Choir, I'm sorry, you're wrong. We're actually headed to Ollivanders. Ollivanders is about a 10-minute show experience where you are headed into the famous wand maker's shop where they're gonna choose one young witch or wizard to find their wand. Now, anybody can go see the show, but again, only one person is chosen for the actual interactive experience. But for my Potter fans, I recommend seeing it at least once anyway, which is exactly what we're gonna do right now.
Artie, come this way, please. Step into the light so I may see you more clearly. Artie, which is your wand arm? Right hand or left? This particular wand is made of sycamore, 13.5 inches long, swishy with a unicorn hair core. There are some flowers in the corner. Let's bring them down here to my desk. Point your wand and say, Descendo flowers.
Descendo flowers.
Oh! Huh. Point your wand and say, Accio ladder. Unicorn hair core. This is a core, a phoenix tail feather, which means you are truly destined. This wand has chosen you, and you alone. The wand learns from the wizard, and the wizard from the wand, yes?
Yes.
Excellent.
Just got out of Ollivanders, and it is a cute little show. It's like 8 minutes long-ish, and the wand maker is going to choose someone from the audience. It's usually a kid. Adults like me just know it's probably not you. And they have them perform the same kind of series of tests that Harry does in Sorcerer's Stone to find his wand. And it really is enjoyable. I quite like it. It actually gives me feels like I get chills just because you think about that very important moment of the story, and they have the music playing and everything. So it is a very cool experience. And it does rate really high, even though this is considered the worst show in the park according to the internet. It still has a 3.75, which is a pretty high rating. And if I were to guess when we get into this review, it's gonna be about the fact that not every kid gets a wand. Let us check with Molly's Review Corner. Okay, this is Cuckoo. Do you need a wand? No. You're not an overgrown child with mommy issues, but you've read the books and or seen the movies, so you're tempted. Now there's a reason to make investment in the toy. The interactive spots around the Wizarding World give you the excite to make the purchase. Give you the excite to make the excitement, I'm assuming. It's nothing you will have a later need for, but it gives you a little extra fun while you're there. There are worse ways to spend $40. 3 stars. Well, that review went the complete opposite direction I thought it would go. I definitely thought that people were going to complain that only one kid gets chosen, which I have heard as a complaint of this show before, and I can understand that if you've got a kid that really wants to be picked and another kid gets picked, that is tricky. But I like that review went from you don't need this, but also, don't you? It's fun. And I have to agree. I think wand magic is one of the most fun things you could do in the Wizarding World. I just think it adds a little extra magic, for lack of a better word. And while I don't know if you need to do the Ollivanders show, if there's a long line, you can just go into the store and buy a wand. I think wands are really fun. And again, there are only 4 things that Universal considers a show in this park, and they all have a 3.75 or higher. The rating, according to the internet, went Triwizard Spirit Rally, Raptor Encounter, Frog Choir, and then Ollivanders, but they're all really, really close. If I was going to pick the best one, I think it's Raptor Encounter, but, all fun little nuggets of entertainment here. Now with all that wand watching, I've gotten a little hungry, so we're headed to get some of our eats for this video. Made it almost all the way across the park to Toon Lagoon, where we are headed to our first dining experience of the day. We're headed into Comic Strip Cafe. I've actually never eaten here, so what a treat for me, especially considering this has been voted the lowest food in the park. Now, Comic Strip Cafe used to basically just serve your classic theme park food like pizza and burgers, and they still have those things, but they've also added some Asian options, including ramen, which I'm gonna try, because why not? Now, the other thing about Comic Strip Cafe is that it closes earlier than the park most of the time, which is one of the reasons I've never eaten here, because like today it closes at 5, which is several hours before the rest of the park. But we're gonna go check it out. Now, before I head in there to pick up my mobile order, I should say that this actually tied for the worst food in the park. Both Comic Strip Cafe and Captain America Diner over in Superhero Island had a 2.5. Behind them in second worst, I guess, is Burger Digs in Jurassic Park, which had a 2.55, and Cafe 4, also in Marvel, with a 2.6. Now, I have eaten at Captain America Diner, which is why I chose to eat here for the video, so I can compare the two to see if they really are the two worst. And I will say Captain America Diner is like generic burgers and chicken tenders done mediocrely, so like not great. So I could see where it would not be recommended. I do, however, actually really like Burger Digs, which came in second worst. I think their burgers are really good. They're fresh, never frozen. You can add a bunch of toppings like mushrooms and bacon, and you get to overlook Velocicoaster. So I don't think that one's fair. But you know what? Let's go into Comic Strip Cafe because that's really what we're here to talk about. Like the rest of this land, Comic Strip Cafe is themed to old comics. Like I see Rocky and Bullwinkle, there's Popeye. So a lot of the audience probably doesn't know who these characters are, but you know what? You may enjoy some of the sites. Like I'm personally very much enjoying this Nurse Shark cartoon right here. I'm also creeping over here to what look like cubbies to see who's put stuff in a cubby. Clearly the Cat in the Hat's been here. Looks like Woody Woodpecker's actually here, like he's snuck in here. I believe that to be the big sandwich from Wimpy's. Spider-Man, it appears. No fishing. I wonder who that could be. It looks like Finding Nemo, but it's definitely not. And I feel like these are maybe Beetle Bailey's shoes. These are definitely maybe Dudley Do-Right shoes. Someone can help me out, but those are definitely shoes from someone. So that's kind of funny. The paint is probably something too that I'm just not catching on to. Yeah, sorry, I just gotta come back to this joke right here because it's what kind of shark helps people, and then the answer is a nurse shark, but it's actually all sharks, because sharks are the apex predators of the ocean, so they keep everything in the ocean in line by eliminating like old or sick or weak fish. They keep the fishing populations in line, and they keep it eradicated from certain kinds of diseases, and without sharks, the ocean fails. Without the ocean, we as humans fail. So like, I feel as though this joke is inaccurate and honestly false. Now, it's not super busy right now in this restaurant because I'm eating at an off-peak meal time, which I definitely recommend. It's like 4 o'clock here and this restaurant closes in an hour. However, I did still mobile order just in case. You're gonna mobile order on your phone, and then when you get into a table, the app's gonna ask you to scan this QR code or type in your table number, and then they'll bring your food out. All right, my dish has arrived, and I decided to go for the beef bulgogi ramen, which is beef bulgogi with tonkatsu broth, tara egg, bean sprouts, scallion, and cilantro. And I did make it a combo because I wanted an egg roll. How do we think ramen's gonna taste? We're gonna find out. Now, I am not gonna be that person that's like, I've eaten ramen in Japan, and compare to that, because obviously it's not gonna be that good. But I am intrigued by the fact that this is beef bulgogi ramen, because beef bulgogi is Korean and ramen is Japanese. So that's why I just said it's Asian food, because it's fusion, I suppose. Let's get some nudes. There's plenty of them. Let's get some of the beef. Now, beef bulgogi is my favorite thing at Korean barbecue. When we go, I make Max and Alan order like 3 orders of it because it's my favorite meat. Even over some of the more, like we just went in California and we had like Wagyu on the table, and I was like, yeah, give me more bulgogi. Beef bulgogi is thinly sliced beef in a kind of sweet-ish marinade. It's delicious. The flavor of the beef is not terrible. It does have that slight sweetness to it that is in the marinade. It's kind of a teriyaki, I guess, if I were to compare it to something. But the beef itself is chewy and dry, and it's supposed to be really tender because of this marinade. And it didn't hit that. The noodles are fine. They taste like, they don't taste homemade or anything. They taste like ramen in a cup that you eat in college. So not a ton of flavor in the broth either. Let's try one of these eggs. Because when I do eat ramen at like ramen shops, I order like a gross amount of egg because I love soy egg. That's just a hard-boiled egg that's been cut in half and put into this broth. If you get a good ramen egg, it's like gooey, and when you break it open, it like oozes into the broth, and it's delicious. This tastes like I should chop it up and make egg salad out of it. So yeah, this dish is a miss for me. It's not like the noodles were bad or the egg is like bad tasting. It's just not like what it's supposed to be, if that makes sense. And again, the flavor on the beef was fine, just consistency was not good. So together, it's not great. But let's try this egg roll. I want to see what's in it. I don't know if it's chicken or beef or just veggie. It looks like just veggie. I'm sorry, Universal. I love you, but this egg roll is bad. It's not crispy on the outside. It's mostly just this breading. There's not a ton of filling. There's not a ton of flavor. And texturally, it's, you know when you bite an egg roll and you want that crispy, like greasy flakiness? That's not what we're getting here. This is what it looks like on the inside. So it is a veggie egg roll, but I don't need to eat that. Yeah, this is absolutely the worst restaurant at this park. And also worse than Captain America's Diner. I would rather eat that burger. And you know what? They have that burger here too, so I guess that's why they're the same. But this is not it. You know what? I appreciate them trying. I appreciate the effort to try a new cuisine offering here. Just was not a success with the Asian fusion here. But don't just take my word for it. Let's go to Molly's Review Corner and see what the internet had to say. Even with the recent menu updates, this restaurant is unfortunately bad. I ordered the tofu ramen and it was, well, gross. Came with a bunch of onions as well as cilantro, neither of which I fancy. All right, well, I get that, but you can ask for them to take things off if you order at the register, so, you know. Its broth was rather meh. I can agree there. Even so, the worst part was the egg roll, which I ordered. It wasn't warm and it was soft and chewy. Oh, the surprising texture did not help the vegetables inside. They tasted odd. Although service was fast and the employees were super kind, it's just not worth the stop. And I have to agree with you, person on the internet. There's a lot of much better food here, including our number one choice. You've also got really fun options over I Like Burger Digs Jurassic Park. You've also got the barbecue spot in Jurassic Park. You've got a lot of good snack options. We're going to get into some more of the really good food here at this park, and unfortunately, it's not here. Well, that was upsetting. You know what isn't upsetting, though? The fact we're going to ride some rides, and I'm leaving Toon Lagoon, which means neither Dudley's nor Popeyes is voted or ranked as the lowest ranking ride in this park, which shocks me, but also delights me that I don't have to ride it. We are headed right next door into Skull Island to check out Skull Island Reign of Kong. Now, this is probably the easiest time I'll ask this. Do you think this is voted as the best or worst ride in the park? I don't think many people are going to be surprised when I say, given the choice of Kong best or worst, it is reviewed as the worst ride in the park with a rating of 2.8 out of 5. The runners-up with 3.1, Pterodon Flyers, which is probably just adults being jealous they can't ride it, if I'm being honest, and Dr. Doom's Fearfall with a 3.2. And honestly, you know what? I gotta say, I'm surprised it's Kong. Is it my favorite ride? No. Do I think there's worse rides? Yeah, I'm surprised Stormforce Accelatron, which is the Teacups style attraction over in Marvel, isn't on the list at all. And personally for me, it's the water rides where you get absolutely soaking wet. But let's go check out Skull Island and see what the non-fuss is about. Skull Island Reign of Kong has a 36-inch height requirement, and it's a big bus-style attraction, same ride vehicle as Fast and the Furious Supercharged. You have gone to Skull Island as seen in the Peter Jackson Kong movies, and you are going to go on an expedition with 8th World Wonder Expeditions. When ruh-roh, you run into some monsters, and eventually Kong himself. It tends to get a very long line just because of how slow-moving these vehicles are, and also the queue is a straight nightmare. In fact, they used to actually have live actors in the queue that would scare you, but it was too scary. I'm going through Express right now because I have it with my annual pass, but again, normally it gets very, very long and creepy in here. I survived a giant ape I feel proud for that. Actually, he saved us from the dinosaurs, so. All right, now, do we think Kong is really the worst ride in the park? I don't think so. I think it's hard to say that when there is a 3-story tall, 18-foot wide animatronic of King Kong. It's a very impressive and very incredible animatronic, and whilst I don't love the rest of the attraction, it's worth riding at least once if the line's not too long just to see Kong. He's on the right-hand side if you can try and get on that side of the truck. I will say I loved Kongfrontation as a child. I do think that was a superior Kong-themed attraction. And I do understand that, one, it is in 3D, which makes a lot of people motion sick, and two, it does tend to get a very long, slow-moving line. So if you wait in a long line and then this is the attraction you get, where it's a lot of screens, maybe it's not for you. But I don't know that I don't think it's the worst ride in the park, or the worst ride experience in the park. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let's go to Volley's Review Corner and see what the internet has to say. The worst ride in the park. Kids didn't even like it. The elderly people, bored and offended. I need my hearing checked after getting on it, but I was otherwise inclined to get off the ride and find an exit. Please don't do that. That is unsafe and will shut the whole ride down. I've been to Universal several times. This is the only ride I absolutely hate. Universal, take it down. Put something else there. Get rid of it. It's an embarrassment to the entire place. People walk by it, point, and laugh. I am right in front of the entrance. Is right there. I haven't actually seen a single person walk by, point, and laugh. But you know what? I'm not here all the time, so who's to say? I think, that's a 1-star review. I think that's a little harsh. I think it's probably closer to like a 2.5, 3-star review. Again, I don't think you need to wait in a long line for it, but I think that animatronic is really, really cool. I think the set pieces are really cool, and I think it's fun to do at least once, or maybe more than once if you're like a diehard Kong fan. But let's go from the voted on worst ride in the park to the best, and we don't actually have to go very far. I really like Kong because Kongfrontation was an original ride that was torn down and replaced, but it came back in new life. And call me naive, call me wishing on a false hope here, but that does give me a little bit of hope that maybe one day there will be a new Jaws ride. In the immortal words of John Hammond,
welcome to Jurassic Park.
One of my favorite lands in the park, full of fun and whimsy and dinosaurs, a couple very popular attractions, and, spoiler alert, a perfect score for our top ride. I'm sure you already know where we're headed. You are probably not at all surprised that with a perfect 5 out of 5, Velocicoaster is reviewed as the best ride in Islands of Adventure. And I can't say I'm surprised either. It's got 155 top hat right here, 4 inversions, including a hanging inversion. You've got the Mosasaurus barrel roll over the lagoon right here, reaches speeds of up to 70 miles an hour, not to mention all of the amazing Jurassic Park and Jurassic World Easter eggs and appearances throughout the queue. This is truly an incredible coaster, and I'm not even remotely surprised that this came out on top. Now, Velocicoaster does have Express Pass, but it can get a little backed up, so keep that in mind. Still recommend using it if you've got it, but know that it does cut off a little bit of the queue. However, you are going to get to still see the coolest part, which in my opinion are the live raptors. In single rider, you will not get to see the live raptors, so keep that in mind. It has a 51-inch height requirement, and it does have a test seat outside behind these bushes in case you want to check out how the seat fits. Additionally, it does have mid-queue lockers, so halfway through the queue, you're gonna have to put all of your items in a locker and go through metal detectors. But if you have anything big, like my camera can't fit in there, if you've got a bigger backpack, you're gonna have to go rent one of the larger lockers, which is right inside here in the Discovery Center. So make sure you do that before you get in queue. is truly so amazing. It's absolutely incredible. It's even better at night somehow. It's a nice long coaster. The queue's amazing, like from beginning to end. It is A+ experience. I absolutely fully agree with putting it on top. I do think it is one of the best, if not the best rides in the park. 5 stars from me as well. What does surprise me are the second and third place winners, according to the internet. The second best ride and third best ride, they're tied. Both have a 4.5. Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, the attraction inside the castle. All right, I'll accept it. Popeye and Bluto's build ratch barges. The Circle Raft Ride, where you get absolutely soaking, drenched, just dumped into a swimming pool, wet. Themed to Popeye, the Sailor Man, everyone's favorite. And not only is it astonishing that that would make the top 3, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM didn't even crack the top 5. And yes, I know I'm biased with my absolute undying love of Harry Potter, but Hagrid's is one of the best and most expensive roller coasters ever made. So the fact that Popeyes, they're offended too. They're not yelling because of the roller coaster. They're also horrified that Popeyes beat Hagrid's Magical Motorbike Adventure. Anyway, let's read the review. The most thrilling coaster I've ever been on. I thought it couldn't get any better than Hagrid's coaster, but this coaster's on another level for thrill seekers. It's so crazy how fast you go and how many loops you do without shoulder restraints. It feels like you're gonna fall out, but you absolutely will not. Still freaky though. Cannot believe I convinced my fiance to ride this. 5 stars. Popeyes beat Hagrid's. I can't even putting my mind into like not loving Harry Potter and like not being a theme park enthusiast. I can't even then I cannot fathom this information. All right, we've got one final stop today. It's time to end the video with a real treat. The best food in the park. Now I should note for food reviews, we considered anything where you could get like a meal kind of like, so there's no walk-up bars or like walk-up just ice cream. You had to be able to get like a hearty snack or a meal kind of situation. So a full service restaurant, a table service restaurant, or some of the snack stands here. Now it may surprise some of you that we have found ourselves in Seuss Landing for the best food in the park. Because you might be thinking, hey, what about the 3 broomsticks? Well, that got 3rd place with a 3.9. Or maybe you thought, hey, there's a sign outside Mythos that says it's the best theme park restaurant. Well, that got 2nd place with a 3.95. But where we're going had a 4.1, making it the finest place in all the lands. And that location, dear friends, is right here at Green Eggs and Ham, which tickles me. It tickles me because I absolutely agree. This is the best food in this park. And that's saying something because I really do like Mythos and I really do like 3 broomsticks, especially for the theming. But Green Eggs and Ham right here in Seuss Landing is adorable. It is themed around tots-based dishes. So you've got loaded pizza tots, loaded buffalo chicken tots, their namesake Green Eggs and Ham, which have eggs with chives in them and a white cheese sauce. You can get the Who Hash, which is in a can, just like it is in the stories. It is delightful. Whilst the Green Eggs and Ham are my favorite today, I decided to pick up a little can of Who Hash, which has those house-made tater tots, corned beef, chives, onions, and a white cheddar fondue in it, and it is served in this collectible Who Hash can. It's always so good. Everything I get here is always so good. First of all, the tater tots, you can tell that they were totted in-house because they're not the traditional shape that you get out of a bag. They're fluffy on the inside, but then they're always perfectly crispy on the outside. I also find that they can hold up to all the toppings. They don't get mushy, but they're not overdone. I don't know how they do it. Wizards back there. Then, I love the white cheddar fondue. Nice and creamy and dreamy and has like a sharp tender taste to it. A little saltiness from that corned beef. I love the onions in it. I do like them, Sam I Am. And now, for our final trip to Molly's Review Corner this video, I do like them, Sam I Am. It's the title of this review. We have the same joke. We had never been to Islands of Adventure, so we did a bit of research before going to see what foods we should try, and this is one place we saw in multiple videos. I see why. Whoa, what if they saw it in this? Not this video, but our videos. That'd be cool. Located in Sue's Landing, you walk up to a window and order, and in minutes you've got a yummy park snack. I got the green eggs and ham, which is tater tots with cheese sauce, chopped ham, and yes, green eggs. It was yummy and a great snack to tide us over for dinner. Tables nearby to sit while you recharge and enjoy. 5 stars. I have to agree. I love it so much. I think it's simple, it's delicious. I love that there is some variety in the different choices. There's a vegan option if you're needing that. And again, I love Mythos. I think the food there is great. I think the ambiance is lovely. And of course, I love 3 broomsticks. I love anytime I get to go into the wizarding world. And I love those fish and chips. But green eggs and ham, an excellent choice. And honestly, I think the internet nailed all 3 of these. And that is a wrap on my day here at Islands of Adventure, as chosen by random reviews on the internet. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Where should we do this next? We've done this at the other Universal Park. We've done it at some of the Disney parks. Let me know where else you want to see this take on theme parks take place. And until next time, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe if you are new. Follow us on social media. Hang out with the Man Fam in Discord. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. And this has been delicious. Popeyes over Hagrid's.